Hey, good morning. It's Dr. James. I do hope and pray this message finds you and your loved ones peaceful, thriving, and well. And I have a really good feeling about this morning's message in relationship to whether or not you're going to connect to it and go, oh my gosh, James, I am so there with you. I was doing my meditation this morning. I was like, man, what is it that I want to do these days? Because I find myself wanting to react more and more. And I know that's totally my ego. I'm going to completely own this. This is my ego. I feel like more and more these days, my ego wants to prove that it knows something better. It wants to prove that I know something is right when something else or someone else is wrong, in my opinion. And I find myself finding more and more reasons for my ego to feel like it wants to present itself. And I love that about life. I love that about spirituality. I love that about being in this human experience while I'm a spiritual being underneath this bag of bones. I know my ego is crying out to want to show and share and prove, but I'm not sure if that's really what is really necessary right now. I find that reacting is actually draining my batteries, and I'm going to call my batteries my sort of heart space, my heart chakra, my spirituality, my relationship with the divine, with God, here walking around in the earth church. The more that I react, the more I'm ineffective. So I'm working on something new today, and I'm going to really dedicate myself for the rest of my life, because it's come to a place where I realize this is really what I've always been wanting to do, but maybe it took this much darkness in the world to get me to really understand that I have to do it. And that is to go from reacting to acting. React to act. You know, was thinking of times in my life where I've been struck by how much my ego wants to prove others wrong by letting people know that I believe I am right, or what I see as being more of a beneficial way in which we can be doing things. And the more that I find myself navigating this each and every day, I'm reminded of one of the most important things that is really mine to always put front and center in my life. You know, you and I, there's no question in my life, but what we do here each and every morning here in the treehouse is, this is human potential curriculum. This is steep spiritual work. This is our version of church that we have every single morning to connect with the divine, to connect with that deep part of ourself, to get out of that reactionary self and move into that active self. And the active self isn't necessarily with a capital S. I like to say it's a little less. It's a little less of an ego. It's a little bit more of a soul. It's a little bit more of love and a little bit less of needing to prove anything coming from a place of ego. So today, here's how I'm going to go about my work. And I hope this becomes the work of the rest of my life. I'm going to dedicate myself to becoming so consumed with acting on behalf of love. I'm going to become so consumed with acting on behalf of light, of divinity, of all that is the universal light and energy that passes through each and every one of us if we become a channel for it. And I'm always really conscientious is that when I'm disconnected from God or I'm feeling like the divine isn't coming through me, that is my problem. That's when my ego becomes so big, there's no room for God. There's no room for the light. There's no more room to allow in the truth, something that's so much bigger than my necessity of feeling like I have to react, when I know that all I have to do is act. And when I'm a pure channel, when I get my ego out of the way, when I open up all the way to receive divine guidance, then I can go out and act and be a beneficial presence on the planet. Then I can go out and be an activist for possibility, an activist for love, an activist for God, an activist for the truth, an activist for everything that needs to be activated right now. Activated. How activated are you these days when you spend more of your time reacting, more of your time getting lost in the black hole that is Facebook when someone posts something that we don't believe in, we think is not directed in the right way, is coming from hate rather than love? Do we go down in that rabbit hole and go in an archaeological experience to figure out how we can prove that person wrong and prove ourselves right? Or do we stay up here? Do we elevate and elevate and elevate? Because I know science tells us every single day that the biggest leadership quality, the most powerful reason why others will change or follow something different, something that we believe may be the right way, which is love. It's actually being a pollinator purveyor of hope. So when we go down the rabbit hole, are we doing hope or are we doing something less than hope? Are we doing ego or are we doing soul? Are we doing reaction or are we doing activation? Hope is activation. We know it. We absolutely know it to the core of our scientific need, but more importantly, our soul and spiritual knowing. So, today's an opportunity. I'm going to shut down reaction as long as possible. Maybe I'll be successful for a couple minutes, maybe a couple hours, maybe the whole day. And then tomorrow I get a chance to work on it again. Spirit willing, I get a chance to work on it for a lot of years to come. Activation, love, light, the great work that's here now. Here's to activating. Thank you. I love you. Bye for now.